All right, yeah. So we are continuing from where we left from. In the previous lesson, we looked at adding list items to our website. So we'll move on and look at how we can add links to our website, right? So there are different scenarios when you'd want to add a link on your website, okay? So inside HTML, these links are referred to as anchor tags, right? And we use the A to represent the same links when it comes to the tags, right? So there are mostly two situations in which you would want to add a link, right? So you'd want to add a link so that a person can move from one page to another on the same website, right? So you might have different pages, okay, on your same website. But then there are times when you'd want to redirect someone to a different platform, maybe a different website, So you would add a link that would take someone from your platform, which is your own website, to another website, an external link, right? So we'll learn how we can do both, how we can add a link that can take us to another page, and how we can add links that can take us to other websites, all right? Okay, so let's open VS Code and be able to add our different links. All right, so inside VS Code, this is the code that we had written for the list items. So for now, we remove the list items. Okay. All right. So imagine you have different pages on your website, all right? Or what we can do is we can just bring back these. We can bring back these items. Okay. So these are list items. Okay. Then we can even remove this, or we can just say none for now, so that we don't have those icons that we are showing, the types, right? Okay, so with links, we'll start with one where you have different pages on your website and you'd want to move from your home page to a different page. So now imagine on the home page, you've got this title, hobbies. Then on different pages, right, you've got a page that talks about your this first hobby of yours, which is reading, right? So imagine you have a page on your website where you have articles that explains your reading culture, your journey, and things like that in terms of reading. Maybe books that you've read and all that, so you've like added them on that page. Then coding, maybe your coding journey, programming languages that the technology that maybe projects that you've worked on, maybe it's on a different page as well. Then you also have another page that you have images of you swimming, competing in swimming competitions and things like that on this page. So you want to move from this from the home page, which we currently have, which is this one, right? Which is this one, the one that we have, and you want to move to different pages. So you want to turn these listed items into links, so that when someone clicks on reading, it will take them to a page where they can read about this hobby that you have, right? So what we'll do is we'll now learn how we can add a link. So for us to add a link, let me just show you an example here. So for you to add a link, what you do is you open with A, right? So remember I said the link is called a anchor tag, right? Anchor tag. So we use the A. Then after the A, it has one attribute. The first attribute, sorry, it has the first attribute being href, right? So the href just specifies where we are going, where we are taking the user when they click on this link. So remember, I said the first scenario is where we move the user from one page to another on the same platform, right? So it means for us to move from this home page to another one, we need other pages as well, which is what we're going to create next. Then the other thing is you close it, then you have a closing tag as well. Then in the middle, you type the text that the user will be able to see, so that it can take them to another page, right? So let's say, for example, I type click here, right? And I save the work. So what the user is going to see is this text, click here. They won't be able to see the tags, of course, all right? But if the user clicks on this link, it won't take them anywhere because we've not specified, right? Okay, so this is the link, right? So when I bring my case on this link, you should look at here at the bottom, right? You'll be able to see that there is actually a link that pops up. So it shows where we are going. At the moment, because I did not put anything, when I click here, it just refreshes the page. So when I click here, you notice it just refreshes the page. You've seen that it's not taking us anywhere, because at the moment we don't have any page. So what we are going to do is, inside this folder that we've created called HTML, we're going to create another folder, and this one we'll call it pages, right? So that we create our different pages. Okay. So inside this folder called pages, that's where we are now going to add our different pages. So the first page that we're going to add is the reading page, right? So we want to create another HTML file. So on this one, you can right click. When you right click, you click on new file. Then this one will be called what? Reading.html, like that, right? So this is our file. So we'll continue on and create other ones as well. So we'll create another one. Remember, another one that we want to create inside this pages folder is the coding, right? Coding.html, like that. Then another last one that we want to create is the swimming, right? Like that. So we now have these 3 different pages. These are HTML pages, right? That we want to take the user to. So what we do is, remember, this is the way that you create a link. So the other thing that you can actually do here is this. When you create a listed item, right? Inside here, we want this text to be clicked so that it can take the user to that page, right? So what you can do is you can actually move this link inside here like that. Then since we don't want this to show, what we want to show the user is this text. So this text comes in the middle like that, all right? So you do the same with this other one. So we'll remove this text and just create a anchor tag like that. Okay. Then in the middle, we put that text. So we do the same for swimming, right? We cut that, right? Okay. So what I've just done is I've used a shortcut. Instead of typing everything, I just typed A, then it gives me that prompt, then I can now choose the anchor tag, right? Okay, so in the middle here, that's where I put that name, right? So let's organize it properly so that it's properly structured, okay? So let me use this, okay? So that one is not doing anything. So if I use the, right, I guess it's properly structured already. That's why it's not changing anything, right? Okay, so save the work. So we have these listed items, and inside each list item we have a link like that. So when we go on our page, you notice that even the colors and these lines down here, they've come up, right? Let me zoom in a bit, okay? Yeah. Okay, so when we click on this, like I mentioned, at the moment we didn't specify. So even when I bring my cursor on this link, down there, it's just showing me the URL for the home page, right? So it won't take me anywhere. When I click any of these, it won't take us anywhere because we've not yet specified, right? So we're going to go inside our HTML and now specify where we want to take the user each time they click on these different links, okay? So we'll start with the first one, which is reading, okay? So once they click on the reading, we want to take the user to the reading page, which is here, okay? So what we do here is that we will put the directory where this file is, okay? Now remember, in here you have what we call the relative path, right? Remember, we were dealing with the relative path at first, which isn't the one that we're supposed to get when we want to open the browser. But in this case, you get the relative path, okay? Then you have to add it here. Now, here's the thing. When I add it here like this, you notice that the first folder that it captures is the parent, the main one, okay? But what is happening here is this. We are inside, at the moment, we are inside this folder, this file, sorry, which is index.html, and we are trying to go inside this folder. Now, one thing that you need to understand and notice here is that the folder called pages and the file index.html are in the same folder, all right? They are in the same directory. So for us to move from this file to this one, we just go direct from the index.html to the pages. We don't have to pass through the HTML folder like this, okay? So the folder that we're supposed to go to is the pages. Then from the pages, we go to our file, which is reading.html, the one that is listed here, right? And the difference here, so we're removing this, Okay, and the other difference is that instead of using a backslash, we are using a forward slash like that. The moment I type a forward slash, you're able to see the different files that are inside this folder, which is the coding, reading, and swimming. So we already have the reading, so leave it like that. That's where we want to take the user. Okay, so we'll do the same for the coding, right? So we're going into pages. Immediately I type pages, it's even bringing that prompt. So I click on pages and it shows me what files are in pages. And this one has to take us to the coding, right? Like that. So we'll do the same for the swimming. We'll say pages, like that. When you click on pages, this one will take us to swimming, right? So this is what you do every time you're pointing a link to a different page, all right? Okay, so we'll minimize that. Okay, now there's one thing remaining. These different pages that we've created don't have any content inside, so that's what we're going to make. So inside the swimming, we'll use a shortcut of HTML so that we can bring the prompt like that. Okay, so this one, remember, is for swimming. We'll give it a title of swimming like that. Okay, then here we'll create a heading, right? Then we'll say swimming, right? Then down here, we'll just create some paragraph text, right? So use shortcut so that you can generate a lorem ipsum text. Then I'll just structure it properly like that, okay? Then we save the work. Then we do the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this and I'll paste it in here, right? Then here we'll just change to coding, all right? So copy that, paste it here like that, okay? So copy this again and we'll paste it inside this other one for reading, right? So change this to reading like that. Then we save the work. Okay. So now when we go on our website, the moment I bring my cursor here, you notice that the link down here, okay? You notice that the link, when I bring my cursor there, it's now pages/reading.html. When I bring it on this coding one, it's changing to coding.html at the end. And when I bring it on this one, it's changing to swimming.html. So the moment I click on reading, okay, it will take me to a page for reading. Okay. So now imagine you have a very like big website, all right? Then when you click on reading, it takes you to a page where you're sharing your content in terms of your reading culture, whether maybe books that you've read and things like that, all right? So when we go back, you can click on coding, it will take you to the coding website. When you can go back again, you can click on swimming, it will take you to a different page for swimming, all right? Okay, good. So the last one that we're going to look at is the external links. Now, there isn't that much difference, okay, in terms of how we design the anchor tag, all right? So here, what we're going to do is that I'm going to copy this line and paste it here. Then here, I'm just going to say Facebook, okay? We want to take the user to Facebook, okay? There's a typo, Facebook. So here, where we are adding the href, this time, instead of typing the directory where the file is, we're going to type the URL for Facebook so that when we click on this link, we're going to go to Facebook. So here you just type www.facebook.com like that, okay? So the moment I type that, you can even see that it's underlined. But mostly what you do is you include this https and then / like that for a secure website, okay? So we can do that. Then you save. Then when we go on our page, you notice that we now have Facebook. So the moment I bring my cursor here, it's what is it bringing down there? It's bringing https / www.facebook.com. So immediately I click on this link, this page will go to Facebook, okay? It will open up Facebook. You've seen that? It's now opened our Facebook account like that, okay? So go back to our website, which is this one, all right? Now, you don't want the user, when they click here, the whole website changes, okay? What you want is when the user clicks here, automatically it opens a new tab for them here instead of the other page, all right? So for you to achieve that, what you are going to do is this. Okay, so there's another attribute that you can add to these tags. Okay, the open tags for the anchor tag. So another attribute that you can add is called target. Okay, target. So the target has got these different values that you can set. There is parent, there is self, there is top, there is blank. So if you want it to open a new tab, what you assign it is blank. All right. So what we want is we want to open blank only on the external one. All right. The reason we don't want to open it on this other one, the ones for the local website, is this. Okay, check out. So every time a user wants to go to a different page, it will continue creating different pages. You've seen that. Now imagine how many pages, tabs they open. A lot, right? So we don't want that. So for these internal links, we avoid adding this. Okay, so we only add that when we are dealing with an external link like this one, where it opens a new tab. Then your website is still there, the user can still go back. All right, because what you want is to keep the user using your platform. Right? So once they finish working with this, they know that they have a tab there, they can go back and close the previous one. All right, okay. Now you notice that when we click on reading, there is no other way to go back to the previous page except using the browser on this button, right? But we can actually create a link inside here that can take us back to the home page. Okay, so we're in the reading page. So inside the reading page, you can actually create a link down here. Okay, you can actually create a link down there like that. All right, then here we'll say home, or go home, or go back. Right, go back like that. Right, now remember this href has to point to the file that we want to go to. Right, now we are here inside this folder. Right, at first we were inside the index, we were just going inside the pages and accessing this. But since we are inside this page, it means we have to come out of this page and be able to target the index. Right, so how do you go back? So the way you go back is this. You don't mention to say pages here, right? And you can see here that there's no prompt that has come up because inside here we don't have any page. Okay, but when we say full stop / it means we are in the same directory, current directory, where this file is. There are also these other files. Okay, so if I was to click any of these, if we click, it means it will go to the reading page. Okay, and I can decide for it to go to a different one, right? So now what we want here, okay, is when we click on the reading, it takes us to the index. So what you do here is you go back twice, 1, 2, twice like that. It will take you to the current directory that shows the pages and the index file. Okay, so that's the pages and the index file. And what we want is the index like that. So when we save our work and go back on our website, immediately you click this button, it takes you back to your home page. Okay, so this is how we work with links. Okay, so we'll now move to another different lesson where we're going to learn on how we can add images to our website.